It was a good week, a lot of good discussions, and we're going to play a very good opponent. Maybe one of the best teams in the league, and it's a great challenge for us to have a response from the Miami game. Again, I said a lot of discussions about how to go forward with this group, and it's been fruitful. I think we have a good game plan and some good ideas and to how to go about getting a result in Columbus. But it will be a tall task, and under no illusions how good this team is, but we're definitely looking forward to getting back out there and getting better. And that's kind of part of this right now, is us continuing to find ourselves and show progress.
All right, thanks for that. We'll start with Dustin. Go ahead, Dustin.
Hey, Ben.
Dustin.
Hey, last week, one of the few times in the last couple of years that you guys got outpossessed by the opposing team. How do you change that going forward? Is that just the midfield getting learning?
A little bit, Dustin, but it's twofold. One, I don't really care. I don't go home at night and feel success because we outpossess a team. That doesn't really matter in our book. Of course, we want that because we believe that that is the way we can have success. But we can win other ways, and so I wasn't so concerned about the lack of possession. Although I'll say, when you chase the game against a really good team and you go down early, that can happen. Also, we just didn't get off the line. We didn't switch the point of attack. We thought we could go down one side too many times. We weren't patient, and sometimes that's also a product of going down early. You're anxious to go get the second goal, so you're rushing in moments where you need to exhale and take a few more passes and maybe explore the other side, especially at teams like Miami and Columbus that are narrow and squeeze you to the line, as most teams try to do. So it wasn't the stat line, it was why that stat line was disappointing.
And then just talking a little bit more about that, Columbus, one of the better teams possession-wise in the league. Does that change the way you guys play, especially defensively? I know you talked about the mistakes that you guys have had with the ball in recent games.
Well, I don't know if other teams' possession has anything to do with our turnovers or the way we gave up goals. So, maybe Columbus is going to have the ball. They are very good at it. They're not going to change. They're at full strength. So that's not going to be a surprise to us. We've got some ideas on how to, again, disrupt them like every coach does going into a game against Columbus, but they're still going to have a good portion of the ball. It's because it's what they do, and they're committed to it. So that's okay as well. We're not looking to go into this game and win the possession battle necessarily. If that happens because of we're in good form, okay, but that's that's not something we're looking for. We're looking for moments. We're looking for strengths of their team and how to counter those, and we're looking for some weaknesses and trying to exploit them. So I don't know if there will be times where we have possession, Dustin, if you're looking for that. But Miami's pretty good. Columbus is pretty good. I don't know if that's news to anyone. It's been a tough early schedule, but again, it's a great challenge for us.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it.
All right, Joey, go ahead.
Hey, Ben. Through the first two games, how would you assess Andrew Tarbell's jump to the first choice goalkeeper so far?
Fine. I think Andrew will be his toughest critic. Maybe tougher than I would be on him, but he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Again, I don't know if anybody's been at the highest level right now for us, and again, that's part of a new group of figuring itself out, and losing 4 or 5 guys up the spine. This takes a little time, and within that comes relationship building and confidence, and you know, he's a damn good goalkeeper. We saw that for 2 years, and you know, I believe in his character. I believe in his skill set, so he'll be fine.
Now we've seen Ethan Bartlett's some mistakes in week one, Femi with some mistakes week two. How's that battle between the two of them going, assuming Eric Spiachenko is good to go to partner one of them this coming week?
They're different. They're different center backs. They have different qualities. So we think about the pairing, and we think about what the game needs and who the opponent is. But you know, limiting mistakes that you guys continue to ask about, I think I've addressed, and it's not a recipe for success in this league. And you want to stay in games as long as possible. And then if things don't go well, you stick to the plan. And one thing we were guilty about, you know, mistakes are going to happen, in particular early in the year. But adding to those mistakes by getting away from the game plan and going after it and trying to press to get that second goal back and getting stretched, it was a real issue in Miami. And they're a good team, so I think you just have to be careful of that. But it's also why you don't want to go down early. You want to stay in these games, and that's been an obvious message. But players know that. This is not, you guys are pinpointing it. There's a lot of other things out there other than you know, us giving the ball away. Did it twice. Wasn't great. But then there's a lot of other areas in the game, whether you're coming back and how you go about that process. If you go down a goal, that part has to get better too.
Thanks, Tom, Ben.
Anyone else want a question?
Yes. Sorry.
Go ahead, Rudy.
Hey, Coach. Yeah, obviously, you know, difficult match against Miami, and I think you were very calm with your answers, even with all the emotions kind of running high. But you know, whenever you talk about the attack and creating more opportunities, we did get to see Dueñas and Nico Loredo coming into the picture and obviously linking up to get a goal. So curiosity, you know, how much maybe more minutes are we going to see of them in the coming weeks? Do you think they're getting comfortable with the team and the system that you provide them with?
Everything's on the table, right? You know, again, as I said, we are in still a figuring out stage of this team right now. Nico's new, Dueñas is new. Again, a bunch of new people down our spine, which is always, you know, again, I think makes the transition more difficult. So we'll be looking at a bunch of different things, and there's, you know, this is not something where we're stuck in any one player or structure, and that's a conversation we're having internally with the coaching staff, and also one with the players. And so that's kind of, again, this is early in the season, and you hope to grab results while you're figuring some stuff out, and that's what we have to concern ourselves with, both finding out who we are in the games, but also doing some of the little things that can add up to points. That's where we need to live right now. And if that's tweaking some of the game model, if that's putting guys in positions to have success because for one reason or the other, that's maybe a worthwhile exercise. But we also want to be us, and we put a lot of work and effort into who we are, and we believe in it. But as coaches, sometimes you have to adapt, and that's the balance we're trying to strike right now.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck on Columbus.
All right, anyone else?
Yeah. Good morning, Coach. Although the result didn't go the team's way, how much of a learning lesson was it for the team moving forward?
Well, it's a learning lesson for us as a staff and the players every time we go out. And I've talked about preseason and how preseason can trick you a little bit because of who you're playing and, you know, the managing minutes and all that comes along with preseason. You're playing guys that are tired because you're pushing them. So the games are where we learn. And, you know, we've had two. I think we've learned a lot over the 2 weeks already, and we're going to learn more about ourselves in Columbus. As I said, it's nice to learn about yourselves and grab a point or two while you're doing that, and that's where we, that's A and side A, and then side B is again still learning and growing and pushing the game model and being the best version of ourselves. But all those little things have to get better from us too as we learn.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.